And Councillor Daniel, over to you.
Oh yeah, there's an amendment to be made, but we'll come to that. Really, on a tribal basis, quite annoyed because actually Councillor Hill's intro could have said, and I shall let that stand. Basis, it's absolutely right that someone who has lived experience is the best person to speak about that. This is version 5 of the toolkit. It was first published in 2013. It's predicated on the principle that what we want to achieve is fair access to safe education. The consultation was open for 12 weeks, which is 48 responses. City residents were far more in favour of it, and teachers and young people strongly so. Unwilling to attend and potentially out their children sent me their due and I know that you will have read them, in getting this.
To propose an officer amendment to the report.
Notification of the proposed, and in order to improve the clarity of paragraphs of the toolkit, I am recommending a minor 2-word amendment as indicated on the document. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. And I'm also going to add, before we get into the discussion, that in addition to the information shared in the report, Cabinet members have also received an email from PSHE Brighton dated the 20th of January 25, setting out their comments on the toolkit. Questions, comments from Cabinet on this document? Councillor Okins.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. And I want to start by thanking Councillors Hill-Putions at the beginning of this segment, and also to officers who've really done some outstanding work on developing this. And you know, I've seen the passion come from the officer team. So thank you for the work and for keeping us sort of involved and informed along the way. Councillor Pickett referred to the potential for harm, and I think she used potentially harm at individuals' own hands. My partner happens to work in suicide prevention, so I was already aware of. It's actually quite difficult to get really good information because I don't think it's tracked as well as it should be. But there's certainly a couple of surveys that have been around for a while. One in 2014, which indicated that within that survey group, at least 48% of trans people under 26 had attempted suicide. I mean, that is absolutely shocking. And there was a 2017 survey as well, 45%, with 84% having self-harm. So I just wanted to highlight those figures. Coming to the toolkit, I mean, imagine being a teacher in a school and having a pupil come to you and you know, you being sort of presented with the complexities and the sensitivities and just feeling like you don't have the tools to support that young person and to navigate it, you know, in the way that has the outcomes of that child at its heart. I mean, it would you just wouldn't know where to start. So obviously really supportive of it, and just to reiterate the thanks to everyone who's worked so hard on it, and to Councillor Daniel for bringing it forward.
Thank you, Councillor Okins. Councillor Pym.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I really want to join in, Councillor Okins, really want to join your thanks to the officers and Councillor Daniel, and also those really good introductions and remarks from Councillor Hill and Councillor Pickett. So thank you very much for this. I know that we live in really interesting times, and sometimes it's worth to sit down and really ask the question, who's this document for? And you realize quickly that this toolkit is not about numbers, sorry, Councillor Taylor, geographic areas or other abstract things. It's about people, real people. It's about children and their well-being. And I strongly believe having adults around you who understand you, it matters. Having someone to talk to who won't try to belittle your feelings, it matters. This document gives those who care the tools to not only show compassion, but also know how to navigate this highly complex situation. As someone who grew up not knowing quite how to feel how to call myself as a gay person, not having adults around me who quite understood what I was going through. I think I'm quite right to say this is progress. So I wholeheartedly recommend colleagues to agree to this document. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Poem. Any further comments or questions? No, in which case I will just add for myself that I think this has been a really thorough piece of work conducted by officers over a significant period of time. I think real thought and care went into how this document was consulted on. Well, first of all, revised and reviewed, then consulted on, and how we looked at and listened to the different comments that we received from different parts of our community. To better understand how this document has previously worked in practice and how we could improve upon it. I think this is an improved document, and I think it's a document that will really stand the test of time. I think it's right that we keep this document under regular review. But as I said at the outset, after the representations from opposition members, really reading and reflecting on the full range of comments that we had on this document, I don't think I've ever before seen a council document have such a direct, beneficial impact on a segment of our population that otherwise can feel incredibly marginalised and vulnerable and unsafe. So I want to really thank officers again for their really hard work on this. So I ask Cabinet now if they will accept the recommendations in this report as amended by the officer amendment. Does Cabinet agree?